This is the Big Woods Bucks podcast. Come explore the big woods and timber in North America with your host, Maine Master Guide and deer tracking expert Hal Blood. Listen to Hal and co-hosts Lee Libby and Joe Cruzy as they unlock the secrets of big woods whitetails. Each episode will provide valuable insights into the tried and true system Hal has used for the last 40 years to scout, locate, and hunt mature big woods bucks. Listen and laugh as the crew discusses Hal's legendary adventures and learn how to apply a lifetime's worth of lessons from the big woods to your own hunting and outdoor adventures.
Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood. Sitting here with me is my cohorts, Joe Cruzy.
Hello.
And Lee Libby.
Howdy.
How's that Tito's and Cranberry going, Lee?
Good.
Good.
That one's for Larry over there in Vermont. He told me the other day to stay out of the Tito's. I'm like, okay.
It's funny, I think out of your film that got most attention was your Tito's bottle next to the coffee maker.
I should call Tito's, see what they want
That's right.
to pay for that 1 second spot.
Yeah. And we got team member Eric Frigg on here.
Hello.
And
Finally.
Finally, yeah, he's been goofing off, but he's up to guide this week. It's the only way we could get him here. So we're going to talk about up to date, on what's going on this season so far and what we're going to do this week. So we're going into the third week of Maine's deer season here. And I got to say, we've had some good snow conditions since about the middle of the first week. And looks like it's going to be another good week. We put a couple bucks on the pole.
I have a question. Why isn't the webcam facing the game pole like we said it was going to?
Because somebody's shirking their duties and they don't have the right equipment for it, the right particles. So
Who's that? Who?
That would be Joe.
Who owns this joint?
Yeah, that's right. So he claims he's got the pieces to do it.
They're on the way.
They're on the way?
Should
Yeah,
be,
well,
should
Amazon
be here
Prime.
by the end of the second muzzle of the week.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone, but the slave driver that I'm looking at right now,
Yeah.
he runs a tight ship, and we're gone at 4:35 and back after dark, so
Yeah. Well,
we can only do so much, but we'll get it going.
it's a life.
There hasn't been a ton to look at on it anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some mishaps, killed a couple bucks, but everybody's having a good time. Not that we haven't really had a lot of hunters. We had 3 hunters the first week and killed 1 buck. My hunter Roger shot his first big woods buck tracking with me, and it was a 6-pointer with a broken up rack, weighed 178. He's tickled to death his first time
Yep.
tracking, and dropped it with 1 shot right there. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a good week. We didn't kill anything, but I had Pat from Pennsylvania with me, and we had a great time. We saw 10 deer, probably twice as many moose.
Yeah.
A lot of moose around. For anyone that thinks there's a moose problem,
Oh, yeah.
No moose problem.
they are everywhere. But we just never saw the big buck and never got a shot. So
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. But
Seems
great week anyway.
Yeah.
Conditions have been perfect, though.
Oh, yeah. Been really nice.
Almost like Wednesday was a good killing day. Thursday was so quiet. It was just beautiful snow, but it was so quiet in the woods.
We talking the first week?
No, last week.
Yeah, we're still in the first week.
Oh,
Lee.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't
I
jump
was
ahead.
I was working.
Me too, Lee. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Some of us have to make a
Some of
living.
us have to make a living.
I was working too.
Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
All right, when are we on the second week yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're still in the first week.
Let me know.
Yeah.
I'll tell. So, yeah, you had Patrick, and then we had Robbie there that Lee Shands was guiding. And
Yep.
first time, all them guys, it's really the first time hunting in
Yeah.
the big woods. And like I said before, you either love it or you hate it. It seems like the guys coming are loving it, Most
Oh
of them-
yeah, Patrick. He like I kind of was as young. He just loves the big woods and always
Yeah.
dreamed of hunting in them. And it
Yeah.
was he definitely got the full effect. He got everything with the weather we had and
Oh, yeah.
the places we went and everything. We even, I don't think I told you this, Lee, that so Monday and Tuesday we didn't have any snow. That was just bare ground. And I think we saw as many deer then as we did when we had snow. But anyway, we're up there by the border, and this awesome snow squall comes in. I mean, it just starts coming down. It's like a blizzard. We can't you can't see 50 yards, you know.
Yeah, Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And we hear this like in the distance, and I thought, we both look at each other. He said, what was that? And it sounded like a dump truck tailgate, you know, like it was dumping a load. But where we were, of course, there's no dump truck up there. And about a minute later, we're walking along, and we hear, loud thunder. And so we had thunder during a snowstorm.
That's cool.
It was cool, yeah. Yeah. Pat looked at me, and he said, will you be my thunder buddy now?
Hey, that's a little too much information here.
Of course, your answer was yes.
So Pat and I are now thunder buddies, whatever that is.
Oh,
But
You didn't hear the Thunder Buddy thing prior to that?
no, what is
It
that?
came from the Ted movie. The
Oh, really?
Mark Wahlberg and Ted. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
he was referencing that, and I was
That's
just a little
part-
slow in the
that's
uptake.
part of why Mark Wahlberg and Ted were so close, is they were Thunder Buddies. So
Oh,
now
I
put
missed
that
the
in-
whole reference.
Put that into your mind for this story.
Yeah.
Now I got to go watch Ted.
Absolutely.
I think that's Joe's new nickname.
Well, that might have been part of our problem is not killing a deer that week is we were laughing so much in the woods that our hunting time got cut into, but we had a good time.
Oh, yeah.
But he could go. He was.
Yeah.
It was. We had a lot of fun. I mean, he was. You know, like a lot of people are concerned with what the terrain's going to be like and how fast do you go, and it's. You know, we put on the past 2 weeks. I looked on my phone there, and I've got over 100 miles walking
Nice.
in 2 weeks, and so it definitely up and down, and there's nothing like walking in the woods. There's no way to replicate it until you get out and do it, and so. But he was right there. You know, he's a couple years older than me and probably in better shape than I am, really.
I don't think a lot of people realize what there are for mountains up here until they get up here.
Right.
They've never hunted up in these areas. They don't realize how the terrain differs from everything in southern Maine or in these other states that are a heck of a lot more flat. you know.
Every step's a high step.
Absolutely.
No
And
matter
then
what.
start adding snow to the mix. Now you can't see the logs you're slipping on, and it's a whole nother game. So people don't realize it. till
And you
they-
got to look forward. You can't keep your eyes down because you won't see
Yep.
what you're looking for. You know, it's
Yeah, even if you don't
fun.
like get right in the big mountains, you get on the ridges and they're still steep, you know, and
Yep.
a lot of ledge and rock and all that. It's about as tough a hunting as anywhere because of the footing. You're going over things, under things, and around things all the time, you know.
How about halfway across the hardwood ridge, you step into an 18-inch deep mud hole, just suck your boot right off.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I think Lee, they saw some deer. It was tough finding a track that week.
Yeah, they weren't
We
moving
put the
much.
miles on, man. It was.
Yeah.
We had one good run where we went across from top of one mountain, across the highway over to another mountain, and that buck was like a billy goat. I've never seen anything like it where this deer went. I mean, it was really something. And he wasn't being chased. He didn't know we were on him.
Right.
But
He had a place
he
to
was
go.
just roaming.
That's your favorite saying, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
Liv, he had someplace to go.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
So
So my guy Roger was good too. He was 59, so he's younger than me, but he could go
Isn't everybody younger than you?
just
pretty
about.
much. Pretty much.
Look at Eric busting balls right
Yeah,
off the
no
bat.
shit,
I'm
huh?
feeling
You
comfortable.
guys should know that this is what I'm going to do.
Oh yeah. Who asked him to be on this anyway?
I
That's-
didn't.
this
He just
is-
showed up.
This is why it's taken so long to get me on here.
Yeah, so Roger, so we headed up. It was at the day after we got them squalls on Wednesday. I said, we're going to go mountain in it. We'd been in some low country. I just kind of wanted to check some places. We found lots of signposts, and we had a good time exploring around there and stuff. But that day of the snow, we never found it. We never saw a deer track all day. I couldn't believe it. We saw deer tracks in the leaves, and then once the snow came, we never cut a deer track. So the next morning we headed for the high country. I knew there'd be a little more snow up there. It was only about an inch where we were. And sure enough, we got up high. There was 4 or 5 inches up in there. And we picked up a good track fairly quickly in the morning, up high. And we took him over the mountain and got into a bunch of does. There'd been deer tracks all through there. The does were right up high too, which a lot of times they are. A lot of people don't think the does are up high, but depends on the mountains they can be. And we get over the other side, and we bumped into a doe laying down, and She had a little one just above her, and then this buck started laying down a little sign there, and I told Roger, I said, I think we'll got a pretty good chance on that. It was pretty good going, it was, could see pretty good. And all of a sudden, this buck rubbed his horns, and then I went around a little patch of spruce, and the leaves were all like tore up where it was packed down with tracks there, and I got looking at it, and I could see there was another buck there. And I don't know if they weren't fighting because there was no hair or nothing, but they were just goofing off or sparring a little bit or something. But anyways, I got on the big track. One track was a little smaller than the other one. I took the bigger one out of there, went another 50 yards, and then came right on the other one's track. The other one hadn't gone very far, and he laid down, he got up, and track was just made. Weren't even a flake in it, and it was squalling, So I said to Raj, I said, this one, I know we can get a look at it, and the other one we haven't caught up to yet, so it's up to you what you want to do, I said, if we get a look at it and you don't like the looks of them, then we can turn around and come back. So we went a little ways, and I see a moose track running down, stomping down off the mountain. I go, I hope he didn't spook this buck. Got down there 50 yards, sure enough, he spooked the buck. But the buck only ran downhill about 50, 75 yards, and he stopped, and then he just started wandering again. So I slowed her right down. I got peeking down below us. It went right down over the steep thing, and I come around a blowdown. I looked down there. I could see him standing down, a little opening down there. About pretty good poke, about 80, 90 yards. And I could see his legs sticking down, and I could see his face and like one horn on the right. Now, my naked eye, I'm like, geez, that don't look like a lot of rack down there. So I got my binoculars out, and I pulled it up. I'm looking, and it don't look like as much horn as it should be. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on? I said, it looked funny. It was big enough to have points on it, but I couldn't really see any points, I said, he ain't got much of a rack, Roger, but it's up to you. And I no more than said that, and I see a gun barrel coming right up by me. I'm like, ooh. I plugged my ears, and boom, he fired, and thing dropped right in his tracks.
No kidding. Good.
I said, nice shot there, Roger.
First buck with the outfitters.
Yeah. Why I couldn't see much horns? It was just a 2.5-year-old buck, but it was nice, Weighed 178, but it had both beams were broke off, and one point was broke off, so it was kind of clubby, It didn't have what it should have had for horns, but Roger was tickled to death his first buck tracking, and got my Onyx out, and I got looking at it because I'm thinking, I knew we were down over the backside, and I'm like, we ain't going up over the mountain to get out of here. So I get the Onyx out, and I zoom it in. And I ain't kidding you, we're 0.2 of a mile from the end of an old road that comes up from the other side of the mountain. I could not believe it. I mean, we're directly above it, not even like at an angle.
No.
Yeah, couldn't believe it. Huh. So I said, well, we can get down there, but we got to go get the truck and get all the way around. So he said, well, I can drag him down 0.2 of a mile while you go get the truck, because we were 5.5 miles from the truck.
No kidding.
Yeah, 5.5. So he did that, and I walked back over the mountain and down to the truck, and then drove around and got him out. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was good way to start off. So
we on to the second week yet?
He's been dying.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Lee. How'd your second week go?
Before we get into the second week, I think we really should take a minute to congratulate Lee on his film.
That's right.
What film?
Lee was in a film?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it
not the porno he did in '95? It's a different one.
I wish I still looked that good.
you never look that good, Lee. Don't kid yourself. Jesus, his head's getting so big now, but we're somewhere up around.
Enough of that conversation.
I think. I didn't even know how that sounded, so I thought about it. Your film's somewhere up around 50,000 views, I think, in 2 weeks.
That's cool.
And tons of really good comments, and you did a great job on it, you and Brett. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah.
It is, at this point, I think the best film on tracking that there is, because no one's ever done anything like that on tracking.
Right.
Well, it's just different. There's no, the best part about it is I don't talk much.
Yeah, we all like that part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 17 minutes long, but it's just you know, there's great, like Hal's got some good stuff out there, a lot of good instructional stuff. You're not going to learn much from this one, but it's just entertaining, you know?
Yeah, it's a
Yep.
it's a film. It's a story. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So that's why you wanted to shout out to the guy from Vermont you met in the woods, and
Larry.
Larry didn't know who he was.
No, it was funny because I cut this guy off, so for those out there that don't know me, I will cut you off.
By cutting him off, he means got in front of him on a track.
Well, I just grabbed a track, and I didn't know anybody was on it, so it's not like I intentionally did it, but when I came out of the woods, he let me know that.
But that's part of hunting in Rangeley.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
part of combat hunting.
Yeah,
No,
combat
it
hunting
is.
in Rangeley.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, he was nice enough to stop and pick me up and give me a ride back to my truck and inform me that I cut him off. And then the next day I happened to see him when I come out of the woods, and he pulls up beside me. He says, "You didn't tell me who you were." I said, my name was Lee. He said, "Yeah, but that was a pretty good film," he says. "Me and the boys listen to the podcast going to Montana." He says, "The best part about the podcast is we love it when you give it to Hal."
Don't tee up Eric like that.
I'm trying to control myself.
Yeah.
You are. You're being really good right now. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
There's I think a lot of people listen to it. You know, I realized that buck tracking community, the people that actually get out there and do it are growing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I still
for
don't
sure.
see a lot of tracks where I am because I've been tracking this one buck, and it's probably a mile and a half back to where I get into his country. But there's a lot of people out there in pickup trucks looking for deer tracks at 5 o'clock in the morning, I can tell you. You
Yeah.
know, and they're not scared to take them. You know, I see most buck tracks, you know, there's somebody on them now. You know,
And you know, it's good. It's good for the area. It's good for the local economies. People are getting back into it. Anything you can do to grow hunting is good.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
plenty of room for everyone.
yeah.
You know,
We talked about it a little bit the other night after dinner. It might have been after you left, Joe. I'm not sure. About how back when, 20, 25 years ago, you'd come to a place like Jackman and the deer season would be worse than snowmobile season as far as trying to find lodging
Yeah.
and things of that nature because the hunters were so vast, and it didn't matter whether it was Thanksgiving week or what week it was. People were here minus their families for Thanksgiving week, and you couldn't find a room in this town if you wanted to on last minute. And,
Right.
the last few years, at least, probably 10 or better years, you could call up tonight for a room tomorrow.
Right.
You didn't have to worry about whether you could find a place to stay if you wanted to hunt places like this. And
Yeah.
I think that's slowly starting to change a little bit, and people are starting to come around. But we've lost a lot of hunters over the years
Yeah.
compared to what we used to have.
yeah.
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 A lot of them started heading to Ontario and them other places, and now the Midwest is kind of popular. So, they've been going to Kansas and Iowa and all that stuff. A lot of them, Ohio.
Yeah.
But
I think the older guys, like especially me, it'd be nice to go out there and hunt, but have you seen the antlers on the deer that are coming out of these woods right now this year?
oh yeah,
I mean, just
Oh.
monsters.
Yeah.
Monsters.
The local guys are killing some nice bucks.
Oh, yeah.
All the guys
Yeah.
in town, really nice bucks.
yeah.
I mean,
did
look at Timmy's
Yeah,
You
so I was
know.
just going to say that. So
That thing looks
Oh,
like the
crazy,
you know,
yeah.
that reminds me at
Lee,
first
that's-
look. It
that's
reminds
week
me of the
2.
yeah, Lee, Timmy. It reminds me of the Dryden buck.
Yeah.
How the antlers just come right straight up and
yeah, nice buck he
Yeah.
got. So he's the first team member on the board, and I think he's leading the buck pool.
Oh, he's going to be
I
a tough one
think
to
he
beat.
said
What did that
it's-
one weigh?
217, and it's going to score. He don't know how to score, but as near as he can tell, it's in the 140s. So he's like at around 362 in
That's
the
a
pool.
tough one to beat.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Timmy.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen? I think you did, Eric. The video that the guys over at Mountain Deer did.
Yeah, I did.
The
I watched
Elmers.
it. Yeah, I watched it.
I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't
They-
seen anything this week. You know
They-
me. I've been
Yeah, it's been some long days. They
I've been
they
out straight.
they shot some awesome video of it's Rodney Elmer over there in Vermont.
And his
they
boys,
have-
right?
Yep.
Yep.
And
They're
his
hunting
boys.
out of Eustis, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they're tied up over there somewhere.
Well, they had an awesome hunt. They grunted this buck back in and shot. I don't know what the numbers were on it, but it's hard to get a tracking
Yeah.
film that good, and they had it come back, and it was really, really good. But hoping to – I talked to him there a couple months ago, and with deer season coming, it's kind of hard for all of us to get together, but we're hoping to get him over here or get together somehow. And
Them boys are young, too, and they got long legs.
Yep.
Yeah, they kill some nice deer. They've been doing it for a long time. Rodney's been shooting video for a long time. It's really good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Timmy had a cameraman with him, so they got that all on video. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
No pressure on you, Lee. No pressure on me. No pressure on Mark. We all got cameramen this week, so we'll see what happens.
I personally don't have a cameraman. I'm actually shooting a
Documentary.
I have a 75-year-old gentleman and loves to track, and this could be his last big woods hunt, so we're going to try to get it all on film.
Yep. So you're the man for the job.
Well, I don't know. I hope my cameraman is really good.
Yeah.
So, second week,
Timmy,
how'd you do?
Me? I put on some miles. Got some achy legs. So I never even got on Facebook or acknowledged anything all week. I'd flopped in bed and got up and did it all over. But I don't know how many miles I put on this week, but I would say 6 days, at least 10 a day. And one, I think I crowded 15 on one day. The time that's counting getting back out too. But one day, Friday, I had, I think I was 3 miles by GPS from the truck when I quit, turned around there, and pretty tired. But I gave one on.
I'll attest to that. Hal's been pretty tired at dinner at night.
Well,
we had to give him CPR the other night.
Yeah.
Get him back up in the chair and eating again.
yeah.
Now,
Now,
mostly
mostly
was drooling off his chin and everything. Come on, old man, come back.
Yeah, I got back. I get a little sleep there.
I had a hard time getting the wheelchair in the door, though.
Yeah. When I was a little younger, I could do that every day, and I'd have achy legs at night, but I'd get up in the morning, they'd be better. Now I get up in the morning, I'm like, did I get any sleep? My legs felt just like they did when I went to sleep the night before.
I am a little younger, and I know what you mean. It's tough even, and it's tough for anyone.
Yeah.
You know?
The walk back to the truck is the worst, I think.
I walk
All day, because you're looking forward to seeing that deer, and then...
Yeah. Then when you got to turn
you're back.
around, I had to turn around opposite direction and head back, and I cut my time. I try to get out by dark, but I didn't make it that. At least I got to a road. I got to an old winter road before it got dark, and I walked back in the dark, and then that big squall come up. We had a squall lasted for a couple hours, and I looked like the abominable snowman when I hit the truck. And then I was in on this old bad road, and one of them places you drive down, but you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I drove through where a bridge was out, and I went around, and it was like there was rocks, and then it was a little stream there, and they're all, because it was so cold all week, everything was ice down in that. But I got the winch on it, so I said worst case is I got a winch back out, and I got over and went down, then it's uphill all the way back up out of there. And when I went to come back up out of the brook there was like a steep thing, and I got the front tires up over, and the back tires were right in that brook on them icy rocks, and I couldn't get her up no more. I tried it a couple stabs at it backing up, and I started to get sideways. You know how your ass in?
Yeah.
I'm like, I better stop right here before I'm completely sideways and can't get the winch. So I just reeled out the winch onto a maple tree there and pulled up over that and got out. But not the thing I really wanted to have to do after getting out.
Not at 5:30 at night.
Oh, God, I got back.
You had a close call during the week, though.
Yeah, on Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday, I didn't find a track. Well, I got on one Tuesday, but once I got it worked out where there was no snow in it, it wasn't big enough, and I left it. But I never got a track that I was interested in until Wednesday, and that's kind of about when they really got moving, you know what I mean? And I was sure I was going to kill that one because he was scraping and rubbing, and I'm like, I'm going to get this guy. Just caught up to him in the wrong place. Like I said, it's a time, and I was probably a minute late to catch him in an opening, but he just got in behind there was some thick patches of firs and some ledges and stuff, and I heard him crack like to go, and I looked up, and when he he jumped this opening. He was a great big wide rack, heavy rack thing there. About, I don't know, it's one of the better racks I've seen in quite a while. But anyways, by the time I got swung, pulled on him there, he was disappearing in the furs, and I just pulled in there and fired, and I give him a haircut. I get down in there, and I look, and his hair all over the snow there. Show about 2-inch hairs. Like, I know what happened here. Followed him the rest of the day and had a long stomp out at night. But, yeah, that was that day. And I see one yesterday. I got to look at one, but I couldn't get a shot at that one either, and stomped after that one all day. But, yeah, just keep doing it. That's what I tell people. You keep doing that. You repeat that day after day.
Oh, Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah, well, I was thinking to myself last night after coming out, I said, I'm paying for last year's easy one. Not, it was not a relatively short track. It was only a few hours, and on the third day, so I'm paying for that now. See, everything, the pendulum swings,
Yeah.
But I got a funny story I got to tell you about that one yesterday. So I finally let go of that one at 2:00. I was done, and he was headed still away. I was 4 miles from the truck by the mile markers on the road.
Oh.
And I was 4 miles from the truck, and it was 2:00, a little after 2. And I come out on an old wood road there, an undrivable one. And I hit that road, and I'm like, I hope there's somebody that gives me a ride, out on the main road. So I'm walking down this side road there, just reminiscing, just bopping along there. And it was an old buck. Yeah, there was an old buck track coming in it. It was a buck track from the night before walking right up the road, And I get down in behind this pond there, and I can hear a buck grunting. And I'm like, oh, and I stop, and I look down in there, and I can see orange. I go, oh, there's a hunter down in there. And first thought was, why would anybody be there, So I walked down a little bit more, and I looked, guess who it was? My grandson. He was with his other grandfather. He was down in there, and he's blowing on a grunt call, and they had a little fire going, having a good time.
That's great.
Yeah. So I looked at his grandfather, Scott, and he goes, you need a ride? And I go, yes, I do. Thank you. So he gave me a ride back. We're driving back down to the truck. Ryland goes, there's 3 partridge up in the tree right there. So Scott wheels over and get his shotgun out there, and I put 3 shells in it, and he walks back there, and pow! One falls out, pumps it, pow! Another one falls out. And then he starts walking down where one fell, and I go, where's the third one? He goes, I don't know, I think it flew away. So he goes to pick up the one that fell out by the road, and I kind of walk down a little bit, and I look up, and the other bird's still in the tree, but I got the shotgun. I said, Ryland, hurry up, get back here. The other one's up there. But before he got back, the other one flew, but he knocked 2 partridge out of the tree. They were way up in that yellow birch. And, 10 years old. Hey, Sal here. I want to talk to you about a new partnership we have with Yokohama Tires. And at Big Woods Bucks, we don't take our partnerships lightly. We focus on things that we can use and can believe in and trust. And I've been running a set of the Yokohama Geolander MTs for about a month now. And over the years, we've had a lot of trouble in the woods, with gravel roads, shale roads, and flat tires and stuff. And so I tried these tires out on a moose hunt, and they worked fabulous. I had no problems with them, and still testing them. But the thing I like, too, is I made a trip to New York, and they're for a mud tire, they're extremely quiet on the road. Probably the most quiet ones I've had for an aggressive tread tire. And so I'm going to keep at testing them here, but I think they're going to be the ticket. I've used dozens of different tires over the years, and these look like they're going to be the ticket. So anyways, the tires are made right here in the USA, down in Virginia. All the light tires, light truck and car tires. There's like 51 sizes available. And they also have a Geolander XAT as a new tire that it's a little less aggressive, like more of an all-season radial. So anyways, check out their website, Yokohama Tire, and see if it's something you can use. Hey, Hal here. Just want to take a minute to talk about the hunting club. And you can join by going right online at bigwoodsbucks.com. But anyways, I've got all my information is going in there. and it's a place where you can get together and look at my films, tips, writings, and all of that. And the best part is there's forums for you to communicate with, the rest of the club members, talk about Big Wood stuff and all of that. So anyways, $36 a year, cheaper than getting a Starbucks once a day. So join up and hope you see you're on there.
I had a fun week. I had it was a 3-on-1. I had 3 guys, but it was a father and son, and then a father's brother, which he wanted to sit all week. And
Yeah.
he saw a small buck on the first day, and then he watched a moose battle in front of him, and he videoed it.
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
yeah.
And it was a battle. It was a good.
Yeah.
It was for a shaky video. It was pretty good, but they were knocking around pretty hard. I mean, they were pushing.
Been
Yeah,
cool if a
that's
couple
cool.
antlers fell off.
That's what I told him. Yeah. So anyway, I took the son with me, Derek, and he's 33 and in good shape. He coaches lacrosse and fit and everything. So he got a good workout. He changed. He became a lot better in the woods in a week's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, he really got his legs under him and
Yeah.
was much quieter and everything. But
Yeah, he took my deer clinic in the spring, him and his dad. And
Oh, okay.
So he got the fundamentals, but he got the
Yeah.
real show there last week with you.
so we chased a bunch around, and on Friday we were tracking one, and we've been on him for quite a while. And anyway, we were walking up a skid trail, and it was probably with less than 20 yards. That buck busted out of there. He was in his bed, and he came out from behind a fir tree, and I just knelt down to the right and said, "There he goes," and
How far?
20 yards, 25,
Jeez.
and plugged my ears. And
Why bother to do that? You can't hear. Sorry, I couldn't
I
help
set it
myself.
up, all right?
I
I
think-
lobbed you a softball there, okay?
I couldn't let that one
Eric,
go by.
I think he meant he turned his hearing aids down.
Yeah. Son of bitches. Teach you guys. I'm going to spit in your drink tonight. So anyway, he let the lead fly, and he got that taste of how fast it happens, and it was surprising to him, like how quick it can happen. He missed it. But like I told him, he had the lead going in the right direction anyway, and we jumped him out of his bed again. I got another look at him, but I'm learning this. Everyone else has been telling me, and it is difficult when you got someone behind you when you're tracking, and because it's a split second
Yeah.
most of the time, and it's challenging enough to kill a deer tracking, but to have someone behind you
Oh, yeah.
kill the deer tracking is.
And on top of that, the story we were talking about earlier about shooting or not shooting, you got to shoot. You're not going to kill a deer without shooting at him.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So you got to fire rounds at them, and
Yeah.
when you're tracking, you're in a whole different ball game than when they're standing in the middle of a field or a clear cut, and you got all day to look at them.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
He did good, and I told him, I said, that's everyone misses, that's part of the process, and but it was exciting. It was nice to hear that gun go off.
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had
Can't
a good
wait to
chase
hear
yesterday
mine.
on the last day. We tracked one. I think it was 9 miles. I showed yesterday that we tracked him, and it was a good run. And we only really had one good opportunity at him the first time we jumped him out of his bed, and then later at the very end of the day, I finally figured him out. This deer, which we had tracked on Monday, was using the same crossings. I mean, running our boot tracks all day. And so we finally got ahead of him and came close. He almost, I don't know if he winded us or what happened, but we came close to getting him, but we didn't.
Well,
But
you probably
it was a great week, and really enjoyed it with Derek, just because he was so willing. He was just ready to go. Like, and of course his dad's been up and hunted with Lee before and everything, so he was experienced, and
Yeah.
we had a good time.
Yeah. So, Eric, you didn't get to hunt last week.
I did not. I hunted yesterday morning. Well, I say yesterday morning. I hunted the whole day yesterday, but I had a good morning for sure.
Saw a few deer.
I got into deer, saw probably 6 or 7 different deer. I let one small buck go, and then, there's a lot of deer around for sure.
I just come by on the way down. I happened to look because it's the first time I've been out of town in the daylight, and out behind Paul Chasen's his apple trees, it looks like it's been rototilled. His whole yard. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't see a place there ain't a deer track.
Yeah. Yeah, they're moving into town. A funny story about that is I was talking to a buddy of ours, and I think it might have been yesterday morning, actually. He got up to go to get ready for work and sitting downstairs drinking coffee, and he looks, and there's a small buck walking through the backyard. It's like a spike, but one spike's about 10 inches long, and one's probably about 6 or 7. And it goes through the yard and goes out in the back corner of the field into the alders and disappears. So he goes upstairs and he's watching TV and drinking coffee, and he notices a second deer out in the field, and that one's just standing on the edge of the tree line, and he looks in the binoculars, and that's a small spike. So then he realizes that the first spike is sneaking down through the woods, through the alders, and coming back to the second spike. And he can tell that the deer is putting his head up, and it looks like he's grunting, but he can't tell for sure. He can't hear him. He's out in the back field. And before you know it, that first spike works his way all the way through, comes out into the field, and those two spikes fought, knocking each other down on the ground and piling each other up. It was a pretty cool deal. He said he tried to video it, but had to video through the screen. But, yeah, even the little spikes are battling it out.
Like a couple middle schoolers fighting.
Getting ready for the big leagues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. And then, how about you, Lee? You hunted all week?
I did. I hunted from Wednesday on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have any close encounters?
I saw 2 smaller bucks. One was I could tell clearly was a good 8-pointer. And the other one, I don't know really. I didn't get as good a look at him, but I'm going to hold out for a little while longer before I start pulling the trigger. But I got one great big old bruiser that I found, and I chased him 2 days last week, and I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot because I don't believe that you should just hunt one deer all the time, but this thing's got a 3-foot stride on him. Like, I never seen a deer so long. I just picture one of them great big long bucks that go 250, that's what I picture. And he's got a big track, not the biggest track I've ever seen, but a big track.
Yeah.
But he's in this one area, and it's in there quite a ways, but I'm going to go back after him after I get done guiding this week, see if I can't get him.
I can't help but notice that Tito's glass is empty.
Because the bartender here at Pollen Lodge is slacking.
Did you just slur that when you said slacking?
Slacking.
I think they
Apparently
made it quite strong for
apparently
you.
the first one was mixed rather well.
Yeah.
Don't
Joe's good.
Yeah, don't give Jesse a bad name now. That was
No, it was Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah, no, Jesse's
I was going to let
good.
that slide and make it sound like he was
I
ragging
can't
on
wait
Jesse.
till she
Yeah.
comes in at 5. That'll
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
3 more minutes. All right. About
Should
time
be
to wrap it up.
Should be a busy night tonight. Everyone's
Yeah,
coming in.
I'll get
This
the
is so. This
Yeah.
is as close to live as we get. The day
Yeah.
before. This is you're listening to this on Monday night, so this was done
Yeah. So
Sunday.
This week we got Lee's taking Ed trying to make a film. Joe's got a 1-on-1. You got a 2-on-1, Eric?
2-on-1, yep.
Father and son,
Father
right from
son.
Maine. Yeah, that'll
Yep.
be fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of the week we'll have a webcam on the game pole. Maybe there'll
Yeah.
be some deer on the game pole.
Those big
Imagine
ones should
that.
be getting hung up, too. I
Yeah.
don't know about you guys, but last week I walked and walked and walked, and those big ones were just cruising.
Yeah.
That's
Cruising.
Yeah.
That's what I found. I couldn't catch up to them. I mean, yesterday a couple times I did, but I had a couple there that just I felt like I wasn't. I mean, you're always in the game, but you know how when you look at you're going along and you're like, I ain't. You know that deep down
You're
you
going
ain't-
backwards.
You ain't gonna catch that guy.
Yeah.
And the further you go, but it's always that the reason you got to keep going is because you never know that one time he gets with a doe and he stops.
Yeah, because it's coming, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
coming.
And you're just hoping that one of them does he walks by and checks
Yeah.
by
It's ready.
is ready or getting ready, and
Yeah.
he decides to stop, and that's the whole game.
I do got a funny story I told Joe, and I wish I'd have taken a picture of it now, but Thursday morning, I cut a big track right out of the truck. And I took that track up, and within an hour, I come up to the top of this hardwood ridge, classic hunt, getting into the green stuff. I just got a funny feeling. I slow down a little bit, and there's a doe's bed. And he had bumped her up, and she was walking. And I start to go through that green stuff, and it's quiet. Like, not quiet to walk, but it's like the woods are just quiet Thursday morning. And
No wind, no nothing.
no, you couldn't even hiccup without the world knowing. So I'm trying to sneak in there, and I'm like, well, this is a bad spot. So maybe I'll just walk in, see if I can't catch him in one of these ridges somewhere. So I just start walking in. Well, I took 2 steps, and he took off. And you can hear, it's almost like the ground shakes, just that doom, doom. And I hear the dude, and the racket, kind of like antlers hitting, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the heck is that? So I stop. I listen, I can hear him going down the ridge, but no way I can get through there in any hurry. So I start walking right along, and I look, and he was running, and he come to this just like a 3 or 4 foot drop, and he must have not known it was there or miscalculated or something, but his front feet had to come out from under him, and he chest planted right into the ground and pushed himself 8 to 10 feet before he got righted up again. And I'm like, I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was pretty good.
Yeah. I had one I was on yesterday. After I jumped him the last time, he went up over this steep bluff. So he was cornered. He had to go down the other side, and he went down over this cliff. I took a picture of it because I've been telling them guys they do that once in a while. They just get there and they just jump right off a cliff. Well, he started down it, and he knew he had to go, and it was a ledge, all rock ledge. And he went one way, and he didn't like it, and he turned, and I could see where he fell down. It was so steep. And it looks like he slid and then bounced down onto the next rock and slid some more. And then the next time, he must have got his feet under him. He just jumped. And it was 15 or 20 feet from there down to where he hit bottom and kept on going. Gone. Might have been my luck. He wouldn't break his leg or something, you know.
Yeah. We forgot the second week story about we had a guy here staying at the lodge. I don't think he was just staying here at the lodge. I don't think he was doing the American plan or anything. But anyway, he goes out. I think he's never tracked before. Never.
Yeah, the first morning.
First hour, I think. He lucks onto a track. Let's say luck on. We all do, I guess. Gets on a track, takes it for just a short time, not very long, sees the buck 80 yards away.
Looking at him.
All right. He said the rack was not real big, but super heavy. And he pulls his gun up to fire, click.
No.
Firing pin's frozen. So he goes through 4 rounds, and the buck walks away. So then he shows us a picture of the track.
Yeah.
It was a 250-pounder
probably. It was a great big
Oh,
track.
my gosh.
He thought it was a 180-pound 8-pointer. That's what he told us. I'm like, I looked at the track. I go, you don't know really what you were looking at there.
Oh, wow.
And I think what it was is just the deer was probably so big, the rack didn't look big, but it was probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's just
crazy.
And then
unbelievable lucky to get in that position, and unbelievable bad luck to have that happen.
Hey, folks. Hal here. Hey, I want to talk about the biggest challenge people have in the woods, especially the big woods trying to hunt, is navigation. It's the number one, and it's the key to be able to hunt successfully in the big woods. And a compass, of course, you got to have a compass, but maps to go along with your compass is really going to be a key. You know, they're going to show you a lot of things like your terrain features and all that, and also the old trails, logging roads, etc. And I think the way to get these is with onX. They've got a great mapping software, and you can download it into your phone as an app, or you can get an SD chip to put into your GPS. They fit most any modern GPS, and that'll cover. You can get them. You can get a chip for any state, or you can when you download the app, what you can do is download, topographical, but also satellite imagery. And that's the one I use the most, because the satellite imagery tells me I can see what kind of trees, if it's softwood trees, hardwood trees, and you can also see logging, different types of cuts. It might be a clear cut or whatever. Very, very helpful for hunting, whether it's deer, moose, or anything you're hunting. But what I like about it is when you're hunting in remote areas, you don't have cell service, so you're basically offline. But if you download ahead of time a certain area, the area you're going to hunt, download it into your phone, and you can bring it up, and it'll show you right where you are, and you can kind of keep track of your positions and all of that. Anyways, excited to tell you about a partnership we formed with OnX. So go to onx.com, and we got you a 20% discount. You punch in the promo code BWB, and you're going to get 20% off on your OnX. All right, get down there and get those apps downloaded and get your chips for your GPS and get ready to hunt. Hey, everyone, Hal here. Just want to take a minute to talk about the Woodman Arms muzzleloader. We got them all set on the website to build your own and or buy your Big Woods Bucks model, either one you want to do. But anyways, we've tested it a lot, and I can honestly say it's the most accurate muzzleloader on the market. Best to carry in the Big Woods or anywhere else at 5.5 pounds. You can't go wrong with it. So get on there and check it out. So here's a public service announcement. He bought a used 7600, and he didn't think he needed to clean anything about it. So somebody evidently had put oil in the bolt.
Yeah.
Because they would fire the second time. You got it in the truck and warmed it up, and then all them shells would fire. But it was just enough oil in it.
He didn't listen to the podcast where I told him not to oil the firing pin.
Yeah, well, he didn't oil it. He just said he didn't know any better. It's a hard lesson. So if you buy a used gun, just remember somebody might have dumped oil down inside that bolt. You know, it might have come from a warmer climate where they don't have to worry, because that morning was pretty cold. You know,
Yeah.
So he lost out on that.
It feels like January here right now. This past weekend.
This is the first time I ever see the lakes in town completely froze over the second week of November.
5 degrees this morning at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday,
It's
same
been-
thing, 5.
It was near zero every day this week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone looking for the game pole webcam, they're seeing the lake whenever they look on it. So that's Parlin, and it's been locked up for almost a week now, I think.
Yeah.
Why is that? How come it's not at the game pole? Oh, never mind. I forgot we talked about
covered
that
that.
already.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go back to Lee's film. Back to you, Lee.
Yeah. Oh, we got to give a shout out to Mikey's guy that shot his first buck
Oh,
ever.
what are we doing?
No kidding. So
Well, Mike's supposed to be here, so that's why we missed
yeah,
it.
we missed Mikey. But so Mike had a 3-on-1 hunt. 3 guys from, where were they from? Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, yeah.
Yep. So
Good bunch of guys.
real nice
Yeah.
bunch of young fellas, and he sent one of them up on this ridge with it. I guess he must have already showed him there. There's a kind of a run going down this ridge, and he told him just get back up there and kind of hunt along that run there. And I think the guy just got there.
Yeah, Ray. Yep.
Yeah, just looking around. Here comes a 4-pointer, and he shoots it. And it was must have been like a 2-year-old, because it was 158.
Yeah, 158.
And no brow points on it. But anyways, it was
Awesome first year.
First deer he ever shot.
No kidding.
So apparently he's in really good shape also, because the drag story is part of the best part of that.
I didn't get that.
Well, he could have got away with like a 200-yard drag, I think, to the bottom of the road or the bottom of the hill to where the pickup could have driven to it. But instead, he drug it about a mile and a half.
I heard a mile and a half.
up to where Mike had parked to go in. So when Mike came out to go check on him, he wasn't down there, but the drag marks had come out and gone up the other way. So, I mean, he could have got away with like 200 yards. Or if he even wanted to get to the other road, it could have been, maybe add another 200-300 to that. But instead, he took a right and went all the way up to the end of the other road, and it was probably a mile and a half to get up there. So I was talking to another buddy of mine who saw that, and he told me, he goes, boy, that guy must be in some shape. He goes, it doesn't even look like he stopped, because if somebody else had hunted up there and seen where that deer had been drug out. And he said, you drag for a while, and it's uphill a good portion of that to get there. Yeah. He said, you stop, you hang around, and you get footprints packing snow down. He goes, that guy had none of that. He said he drug that deer the whole thing and probably never stopped.
Holy mackerel.
That's great.
Got to get him on speed dial.
Yeah.
Mike was telling him at dinner on Friday he'll bring him back up here for a moose hunt and strap a pack to him and let him do some hauling.
Yeah.
That was one of the things about this past week, is that Derek has never shot a deer before. So that was really, it's always fun when you get someone's first time deer and you're there and part of that.
He's hooked. They're coming back next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're in New Hampshire right now. They went over there. They're hunting for 2 weeks straight, so maybe he'll get it over there.
I think everybody's having a good time. It seems like most everybody's going to come back, and do it again next year. We're going to give first dibs on the openings for people that came this year, but there'll still be some openings. So anybody interested for next year, just let me know. I'm going to start taking bookings, after like Christmas. I usually give everybody else a chance to rebook and fill in the blanks, and we'll do it again. But we're having fun at it.
We are having fun. Tired. Yeah, talking about tired. Guide Mike was tired last week, too.
Oh, yeah.
We were all dragging ass.
Mike had a day to hunt to himself on Saturday, so he made a plan with me to meet him at 5:30 in the morning at the bakery, and we were going to go hunt together.
Yeah, good luck with that.
About 5:20, I got a message from him that said, "Yeah, I got to go downriver today. I'm not going to make it." So I might have said, "Yeah, it's a little too cold for you, isn't it?" And he just laughed, and I got a feeling he never went anywhere. He's got to stay in bed.
He went back to sleep.
Yeah, he went back to bed.
Yeah.
He looked pretty tired, but
I asked Hal if he was going to sleep in Saturday, and he just gave me that look.
yeah, no, I can't do it then. I slept in. I forced myself, because once it gets daylight, it's hard, but I forced myself to sleep in till 7 this morning. So,
That's rough hunting all the time, isn't it, Hal?
yeah. Then I had a honeydew list a mile long. I get up, I had to put firewood in. And luckily Nick showed up. He helped me with the firewood. That was good. And then I had to shovel a deck because I didn't get that done. So I got the deck shoveled off. Well, that was iced in for the winter. I had to get 2 more briskets out and get the smoker going so we can have some brisket tomorrow night for supper.
Nice.
Yeah.
2 or 3 other things. But anyways, here I am.
Rick killed a nice buck this week, too.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Rick,
And then he was with Sandy when they killed that big 11-point, 230 pounds, I think.
Yeah. I see
yeah,
that.
chased it out to his buddy.
They got on some nice ones this week.
We were talking about foot size and judging deer by foot size. That one that Sandy killed was 230, and they showed pictures of us after of how small the feet were on that deer.
Really?
So when they were tracking it, it was mostly judged by what it went around, to see what it had for headgear on it and whatnot. But that the feet in general were small for a deer that went 230.
Matt said the same thing. Matt killed one 229, and he said he never would have taken that track out of the truck.
Yep.
He said it was not a big track at all, but
2 or 3 people have commented on that this year. A guy sent me a picture of one. I think he shot it I think it was in New Hampshire maybe, but he said the only reason he took the track was it went by his trail camera. It was a 10-pointer with a long drop tine on it.
No kidding.
And he said the thing was, you couldn't even believe how small the feet were. He says, no way he would ever taken that track. So maybe I got to change my ways and start taking all the small tracks.
So Braden,
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Braden was on a track. Braden's my daughter's boyfriend there.
Yeah.
He was on a track, and he's followed it, and he sees a trail camera over there. So he goes over and looks at it, and he sees my name on the side. So he's like, oh, no, I guess it's Joe's. I can look into it, So he opens it up, and he's able to look at the picture on there. And it's a beautiful buck. It looks like it's probably a 10, but heavy and wide.
No.
That kept him motivated for the whole day. So this was kind of funny. So we're way up north, and we were up in the mountains there, and the snow was so deep. We did 8 miles before 11 o'clock, and I said that we didn't cut a good track that whole time. I said, we're out of here. We're going to go where there's less snow. So we're coming through town, and I'm getting my messages, and I get a text from him that says, I'm on a good one. So I text him back, and I said, yeah, we're heading back down that way. We're gonna be right around the same area, but I didn't want to mess with wherever he was. So I went over on the back side of the mountain, and I tell Scott, I said, yep, just drop over that bank, and we all had a few hours left. I said, it's a beautiful hardwood ridge. You can probably walk down there and pick a track up. So he's out of the truck for like 5 minutes. He radios us. We're heading up the other side of the mountain. He radios us and says, yeah, I'm on a good track. I'm going to take it. Well, it was the deer that Braden was on all day.
No.
He literally must have walked around the edge of that ridge and out of sight, and Braden came into sight and saw it was cut off. So he comes up and sees my truck there.
No.
He sends me a message. He says, I'm sitting on your tailgate. I got cut off. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, that's
so they never caught up to it anyway. So
yeah.
that one's
Well,
still
that'll
running
go to
around.
show you, Joe will cut off a family member for a client.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So sign up with Joe.
That's right.
Hey. All right. We got
to wrap it
Go
up.
eat.
Check all the hunters in, get ready for dinner, and get rested up and do it again.
appreciate everyone listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till next week report. Good luck, everybody out there. Shoot some bucks and good luck on the trail. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.